the nature of special for this season for the Oakland A's, I think it comes in a multitude of ways. Number one, they've already had a 13-game win streak, and that was on the heels of a 1-7 start to their season. That was obviously ages ago, but this is very much a similar group, not an identical group. It's a very similar group to back then. You saw how they responded. You see what they're capable of. They won 13 back then in a row. Now they've won 11 of 13. They've won 7 in a row. And I just feel like the additions at the deadline, Starling Marte, Josh Harrison, Yan Gomes, and Andrew Chafin, none of these players, let's be honest, are the name of Chris Bryant. And of course I say that because we're here in the Bay Area, and that's who the Giants were fortunate enough to land. These are not the top echelon names that were out there. 10 All-Stars changed teams across Major League Baseball at the trade deadline. But these 4 individuals were the perfect fits for this club. They didn't change the Oakland A's. They only complemented this group, made them better. Starling Marte, another multi-hit game. The guy's stealing bases like they're going out of style. What does he have, 8 already? Josh Harrison, and I certainly hope that the hamstring is now okay. He got hit by a pitch on the finger the other night. That wasn't the issue of why he left the game today. But his versatility, his kind of swag, honestly, Marte's too. You can just see that they've come from their respective teams from Washington and Florida. These guys were playing well. They literally brought that to the table, changed leagues, and brought that to the table for the Oakland A's. I love the fact that Yan Gomes is an established veteran. It's a true 1-2 punch with he and Sean Murphy. And Andrew Chafin is just, honestly, because he's not an everyday player, he's going to get left out of maybe the conversation, left out of the mix. Although that certainly should not be the case. You saw him close out a game last night. 2 nights ago. Losing track. Another solid left-handed piece in that Oakland bullpen. So just to reiterate, you're looking at a team that I think got dramatically better in the last couple weeks. And, hitting with runners in scoring position, certainly scoring 17 runs today. Granted, that's not going to happen all the time. In fact, that's never even happened in Oakland history, a 17-0 shutout. Today was the first time that ever happened. But I think what you're seeing is a season that is all of a sudden, it was going from pedestrian to something special, potentially. The A's are a game and a half behind the Houston Astros, and with, 47 left to go, I mean, that is the definition of striking distance. The A's have always been a great second half team. I'm starting to feel it in my gut that something extra might be here. And it hasn't necessarily shown itself all season long. You haven't had your star players like Chapman always producing. Olsen has been. It's cooled off a little bit lately, but fortunately the A's don't have to rely on him. The A's do not have to be a one-bat team like they were for a month or two. It all relied on, did Olsen homer or not? And was Jed Lowry on base when Olsen homered? A lot of times he wasn't. A lot of times nobody was. Olsen had 11 or 12 solo homers in a row. But the A's aren't about that anymore. They're getting runners on, they're moving them over, and they're driving them in. And they're also getting solid contributions from the starting rotation. The bullpen has gone from a question mark this season to what I think is a pretty clear exclamation point as of late. And I do understand. I'm talking about a 7-game win streak and respective sweeps of the Texas Rangers and Cleveland. And now they're about to go back to Texas, to Arlington, and play the Rangers 3 more times this weekend. But hey, that's the opportunity on paper to go out and win 3 more. Make this a 10-game win streak. And I really do feel like if the A's can win 10 in a row here, at some point Houston's going to falter, lose a couple games. The A's are going to find themselves right back in a division lead, which I don't even know that that's the most important thing here and now today. So long as they remain in striking distance down the stretch, that's all you can ask for. They still have a handful of games head-to-head against Houston, which might be the ultimate difference makers.